37. Thanks for joining us for our KHOU 11 News Afternoon Update. I'm Rekha Muttaraj, as always, in the KHOU 11 newsroom. Let's just be honest, all we're thinking about today is the Astros and that awesome win last night. It was so amazing that they pulled out that win, despite some not so nice behavior by those Yankees fans. You may have heard about this. In particular, some stuff that was directed at Zach Greinke, who really got an earful at Yankee Stadium while warming up in the bullpen. Now, fans in the left field bleachers yelled insults about his family and taunted the Astros pitcher with chants about his social anxiety disorder. He kept things cool. You know, later on in the locker room, he said that he didn't hear any of it, but a report by New Jersey Advanced Media detailed some of the jeering that was directed at him as he was kind of getting loose before the game. At least one fan was ejected as police officers kept a watchful eye, the outlet mentioned. So you remember Josh Reddick talking about how after Game 3, fans were throwing water bottles and baseballs at Astros players in Yankee Stadium. Like, not cool, guys, okay? But, you know, we got another game tonight. Dexter, what time does it start again?
6:08.
6:08. Okay, so 6:08, Yankee Stadium. Let's do this. Okay, guess who's back? Back again. Dave Chappelle's back. Tell a friend. Dion, who's directing this, is shaking his head. I hope you enjoyed that reference. But, hey, you can get some tickets in about 20 minutes. He's actually doing 3 shows in Houston this weekend. Dave Chappelle, The Process in the Bronze Peacock Room. Again, going on sale at 3 o'clock this afternoon in about 20 minutes. Those tickets will be available for all 3 performances this weekend. Doors open each night at 11 p.m. The show begins at 11:30 p.m. That is past my bedtime, but I know some of you guys can do that. Chappelle had already had 3 surprise shows in the Peacock Room last week. They all sold out quickly because, you know, there's a limited amount of space in this venue. The House of Blues website says the Bronze Peacock Room only hosts 200 people for a reception event, 100 for a banquet event. So, you know, it's kind of small. But Chappelle spent some time earlier this week in San Antonio with a few surprise shows there. Okay, let's talk about the weather. We are watching the tropics as Tropical Storm Nestor has now formed in the Gulf of Mexico. So Blake Matthews is standing by. Blake, folks in Florida, what can they expect from this?
Oh, Rekha, lots and lots of rain is what they can expect. This is not going to be a widespread disaster, although there is a storm surge warning in effect for the immediate coast. We're not really looking for widespread inland problems. This is a very beneficial rain event for them. They are under big-time drought there in northern Florida, southern Georgia, and eastern portions of Alabama. So this is somewhat good news as this storm continues to move in that direction. Now, the National Hurricane Center has designated this as Tropical Storm Nestor, and they did that around 1 o'clock this afternoon. There's a little closer look at it right here, and you can see a very lopsided system continuing this hour. With most of the convection and most of the storms well to the east of that center of circulation. So here's the very latest. Once again, winds up to 60 miles an hour with this storm, moving to the northeast at 22 miles an hour. Boy, that is boogieing across the northeast Gulf of Mexico. And you can see this blue line here. That represents a tropical storm warning that is in effect for the panhandle of Florida all the way through the Big Bend. This is expected to make landfall getting into very early tomorrow morning as a 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm. This is not anticipated to become a hurricane. That is good news. And the remnants of it will move out into the Atlantic and pull away from the United States. Now here's a look at one of the computer models. You can see most of the heavy weather, the squally weather remaining to the east and northeast of that center of circulation. It will make landfall somewhere in the general vicinity of Panama City, bringing all that beneficial rain through the Carolinas and eventually pushing on out to sea. Check this picture out. It is a beautiful day here across the Houston area. Hardly a cloud in the sky. In fact, I'll give you a nickel if you can find one. It's going to be pretty hard pressed to do on a day like today. 78 degrees, the current temperature up there at Bush Intercontinental Airport. The humidity at 52%. Temperatures, take your pick, mid to upper 70s. We got 79 degrees in Sugar Land. If you like the little warmer weather, head out to El Campo or Columbus. It is 81 and 83 degrees there respectively. Radar nice and dry as you would expect as we expand the view. Look at all the rain now pushing into the Florida Panhandle, Alabama, and into Mississippi, Plaquemines Parish as well in southeast Louisiana. But I want you to watch right out here, right just to the east of Denver. That is our cold front that is going to be pushing through our area as we get into Monday. So we are looking at widespread rain heading into Monday. In fact, rain chances virtually 100% it looks like to kick off your work week. Now, that's going to bring in some really pretty weather before our next strong cold front pushes through on Thursday. Temperatures right now 56 degrees up there in Denver, 49 in Casper, 53 in Boise. But look at all the warm weather out ahead of it. It is 82 degrees right now in Dodge City, Kansas, 71 in Kansas City, 73 degrees in Oklahoma City. But we expand the view here even further going up to the north. Currently it is 4 degrees right now in Alert. So a lot of cold air beginning to build across the Yukon Territory of Canada, getting up into those far northern islands. And this is important because some of this, at least some of the indications are that some of this may break off and head south right into our neck of the woods. As I like to say, there's nothing between Texas and Canada but a few barbed wire fences, and this actually may make its way into our area as we get into late next week. So here's the forecast. Tropical storm Nestor moving away. There's our first front coming on through, heading into Monday. Widespread showers and thunderstorms expected with that. High pressure will push in heading into Tuesday and Wednesday, making for a beautiful middle part of the week. But that high pressure is going to move away, allowing for yet another cold front to push through on Thursday into Friday morning. And that's going to bring, or could bring, some very chilly weather into southeast Texas as we get into the latter part of next week. In the meantime, temperatures cooling on down through the 70s into the 60s, eventually winding up in those lower 60s as we wake up tomorrow morning before those temperatures warm back up into the 80s heading into the afternoon hours. So here's a look at the next 7 days. 86 degrees to kick off your Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, it looks like. Increasing clouds on Sunday. High temperature getting pretty close to 90, but we should say just sub of that. And if we avoid 90 on Sunday, folks, I think we are done with the 90s for the rest of the year heading into next spring. Reason why I say that is if you look at the history books, we have never, ever, ever hit 90, at least in recorded history, in the month of November. And there's no indications that we would get close to 90 once we get past Sunday. So that said, there's our front coming in on Monday, 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms, 78 degrees, 76 degrees on Tuesday, 78 on Wednesday. Our front begins to work its way in on Friday. Look at that, northwest winds at 24 miles an hour, gusting to 30 or 35. Temperatures starting off in the lower 70s and dropping, check that out, into the low 50s as we get into the afternoon hours of Friday. So if you want autumn temperatures, it doesn't get better than that. That is October in a 7-day right there. All right, that's your forecast. We'll have a lot more of this coming up on today on the 411 beginning at 4. Until then, have a great afternoon. We'll see you then.